Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
Hey guys, Coach Dan here. We have lower body workout number 2 for the week, the posterior chain dominant workout. This is week 4 of a fat loss phase for me, and we're still going strong. This is towards the back end of the week. It's been a good week. Energy levels and morale has been high. Today I'm feeling on, not too bad. Again, it's been a big week, so feeling a little bit drained, but we fight on anyway. Body is feeling good and ready for a nice lower body session. So well recovered, legs feel good. You know what was sore from the other day? A GHD leg raise. If you're looking for a nice little abdominal exercise, check that one out. That was quite good. Big stretch through the abs. Essentially use the pad of the GHD to open up and stretch out your abs, and then you're able to tip your whole pelvis up to really contract your abs. So instead of just sort of crunching from down, also coming from above, maybe there's some merit to that. But we have some parental obligations today, so we don't have too much time. I'm not sure how much of this workout I'll get through, but we will get through as much as we can. All right. Workout for the day is a posterior dominant kind of day, or at least it starts that way. We're going belt squat, stiff-legged deadlift. Excellent for a whole bunch of stability while you really just smoke your hamstrings and glutes. I've been loving that. Great little addition we made in the last month or so. Rear foot elevated Smith machine split squat. Oh, brutal. Just smashing that. That does not bring me joy, that one, I'm not going to lie. But smashes the glutes. The next day my glutes are pretty toasty after that. Then we have leg press, 45-degree leg press, plate loaded. Seems to be going well. Seems to be little amounts of progress there, even while on our fat loss phase. And then, some of the machines towards the end. We're going machine adduction. We're going belt squat calf raise, and we're going GHD sit up with a dumbbell. So those all have been rocking pretty well for me. There is some potential that if the gym is not super busy and there doesn't look like anyone to use the belt squat, I might consider doing my belt squat stiff-legged deadlift and then my belt squat calf raise immediately afterwards, so I don't have to unload and load the weights again, because I am inherently lazy. So there is some potential for that, but we don't lock that in yet. We'll just see what happens and what is available when we get out there and how many people are there and whatnot. And I will stop talking in a second. Let's go belt squat stiff-legged deadlift. Okay, bit of a change in order. We're going leg press first. So we would normally go belt squat stiff-legged deadlift, as this is the day that's not completely posterior chain dominant, but it starts off with posterior chain, so it gets the love at the beginning of the workout. But today, again, availability doesn't always allow it, and time to sit around is not something I have. So we'll go leg press first, and then we'll just see what happens as far as the belt squat goes. If the performance is down, that might be a justification for it. But anyway, what can you do? You get in, you get it done. So leg press, this is a quad dominant leg press for me. I've got the yoga blocks here. I think this is quite a good leg press. This range of motion is decent, but it's not quite there. So the yoga blocks will push me up further this way, so this can come down further this way. I've got my weightlifting shoes, which allow for more ankle flexion and therefore more range as well. So we will sit back, or lie back should I say. For this one, we're going to go feet pretty low on the platform. And again, what that's going to do is going to allow a lot of knee flexion. It's going to make it hard on the quads versus if the feet were up here or whatever it might be. So I go pretty low. I point my toes slightly out, but again, everyone's a little bit different in that regard. You can kind of find what's comfy for you. It can be straight, it can be wider. Mine are pretty narrow, toes out. I'll push up, control the down face, feel the quad stretch out, drive up. So we're trying to make this as quad dominant as possible. Glutes will work, but by the end of the set, we want to feel that our quads are pretty fucked up, which they have been, so we continue on. I think I did pretty well last week. And I also have been doing a thing with this where I do a heavier set for lower reps and then dropping the weight off and going in a couple of moderate reps. Moderate reps, so 10 to 15-ish. That just allows for not so much heavy work on the body all the time. And for me personally, I still want to do that heavy set because I like lifting heavy. Drop it back to the lighter weight so there's not as much weight and stress on the joints and stuff like that. We're thinking about longevity over here. All right, let's build them on up. Oh, good. All right, next up we have the belt squat stiff-legged deadlift. Now, on this day, I intended for this exercise to be first, but it was unavailable, so now we go to it second. So we'll see how it goes, see if that has any issue. So far we've been progressing nicely since adding it back in, so we keep doing that. I've felt strong with it, I felt safe, feel like I can push hard, nice and close to failure. So we keep going with it. So essentially what we do is we take the belt squat, which would normally be set up at X height with a belt to do squats with. Now, not how it's traditionally meant to be used, but I'll use it for a stiff-legged deadlift as well, probably for similar benefits. No, not really. Increased stability is one of the main things, so we don't have to worry about it moving around like a standard barbell or dumbbell stiff-legged deadlift. We can just really just work hard with it. So I'll take a bar like such that's kind of meant for tricep push down, cable curls, things like that, and I'll attach a clip to the end, and we're going to clip it into where we would normally attach the belt squat. I've also got my wrist strap, so when it gets heavy, the grip's not an issue. So initially I'll take this and I'll strap in. Now there are 3 notches on this particular belt squat. I've started setting up with the middle notch, and now I know where I set my feet, so it works well for me. The machine doesn't run into me. We will hook in before we begin. So I've got it in there now before we begin. Make sure we get our spine erect, keep our hips high, feel that hamstring stretch, everything nice and tight. Deep breath, stand. Butt back, big stretch, stand. And that is the belt squat stiff-legged deadlift, or RDL, a good variation to take away any kind of challenges you might have with stability or technique. So if your goals are surrounding muscle growth, you don't necessarily have to be tied to the barbell movements. Something like this I've gone from doing in my most recent program, the barbell stiff-legged deadlift. It was destroying me as far as fatigue goes, was making the rest of my workout pretty ordinary. Added this in, feels really nice. So maybe that could just be a variation, or this particular variation is good. I've been getting hamstring soreness, glute soreness reasonably well. Progress is there. So it gets a double thumbs up from me. One of the challenging things is because this is on a lever, so it's a hinge-based belt squat, it means that you have to add more weight than you would if it was a free weight, because free weights would be coming down like this with gravity. That's on a hinge, which kind of makes you your leverage, or makes you stronger because it's got you out of leverage. But that's how she rolls. Just have to get out a few more plates. Good for the ego though. next up, for efficiency's sake, we're going to go the belt squat calf raise. I would normally leave the belt squat or the calf raise exercise towards the end of the movement, workout should I say, just because, I don't know, the other things are more fatiguing. I kind of want to go into them fresh, but ultimately I think I tried this last week and it was fine. So if availability permits again, I might go belt squat calf raise into my abdominal exercise and do them back to back as a superset because they're quite close and they don't affect each other too much. So stiff legged deadlift done. Again, very good for increased stability. The weight that I lift on that is relatively heavy, such that I'm almost like not able to add any more weight. Well, I did that one first set for 6 and that was maxing it out. And again, that's not because I flexed saying I'm really strong, it's just that the machine and the leverage, I'm decently strong at deadlifts and stuff like that, but the machine also makes you lift heavy because it's levered and the hinge point's way back there. So it's a long lever making you, or leveraging you to be quite strong. So there is potential to get weight extenders where you put them on there and you can add further plates. So that might be where we have to go on that one. But if I only got 6 with that, the heaviest weight, I can still progress that until I can get 10 or so. So maybe I've got a little bit of time. All right, anyway, calf raise. So now we use the belt as the belt squat is intended. We take that same clip. So because our feet are going to be off, I would always use the furthest away notch. We clip it in. We go up. Heels go down, get that nice big calf stretch. Full stretch as low as you can manage. And raise up onto the toes. So calf raises. Might have to get a different clip, might get sticky. Calf raises. What can often happen is you can slip off the end of the platform. So in that kind of position, we always just shuffle back on such that you always have the ball of the big toe on. All right, there is a weight to be added to this one as well. So let's do that. And then maybe if availability permits, we'll do our abs as well. All right, the gym gods have shined upon us today. So we're going to be able to do both our calf raise and our GHD sit-ups and ab work in a little superset. So they're about 4 meters away from one another. That's right over there, the calf raise that you've seen me add those weights to and build up and describe. So what we'll do is we'll do a set over there, walk over here, do a set over here, and we'll pretty much go back and forth, maybe jot our reps down in between. It'll save us some time, which is a good thing. And yeah, they don't really affect each other too much. Even if my calves are really jacked up after getting into this, I can walk over here, my heart rate won't be too high, it certainly won't affect my abs at all, so we should be good to do both back to back. So the GHD sit-up, essentially the benefit of it is this kind of curve that we have on the bench here, which is going to allow us to stretch our abs out around the curve. So if you do sit-ups on the ground or other versions of sit-ups, there's nothing for you to kind of curve around. This is almost reminds me of like using a chest support when we do pulling motions. Kind of lets you stretch your whole upper back over that chest and then contract. So we're doing that, stretch our abs out over this by lining this up with our lumbar curve. We lock in like such, shovel our butt down until our back is lined up with that, stretch the abs out over and contract. Now what we want to try and do here is initiate the movement with the abs by opening that up and closing it down. So stretch the abs, contract, not have it be too much from the hip flex. So that's kind of the goal with this one here, right? I gotta go get a dumbbell because we do these with weights. And yeah, we'll go back and forth, 4 sets of each. All right, that's got to be a wrap on the workout, guys. Parental duty calls, so couldn't get everything in, but we got in a good chunk of what we want, the heavy hitters, if you will. So what we missed from this workout: rear foot elevated Smith machine split squat, so that's mainly targeted towards the glutes, a little bit of quadish in there. We had some hamstring curls and some machine adductions that I missed. And all those muscle groups worked a little bit, so we're not too concerned about that. They all got some love, just not the usual amount of love. There might be potential for me to do it later after clients. That's going to be a night shift. Who we kidding? I probably will do it. If I have some steps to get, I can do steps and that, and then that'll be capping off, but I won't get a chance to film that, so I might be able to put a couple of clips of what we missed out somewhere here. Maybe as I'm talking, you'll be able to see it. Maybe at the end, I should be able to scrape something together. But yeah, good. All in all, we got the work in that we could, and that's sometimes the message. It can't always be perfect. So like if you are a parent and things come up, you can't always be perfect. So you get what you can done, and then, you know, shit happens. That would have really like messed with my head a little while ago, but having a kid will make you gain a bit of perspective and realize it's not the end of the world. You're not going to lose all your gains because I missed 3 exercises. And again, potentially I'll be able to do them this evening. So not too much to be crying about there, but I probably will cry anyway. That's what I do. So as always, guys, if you like the content, even if you don't, hit the little sneaky subscribe up there. It's good for us. And if you want to watch another video, click on this one up here. And as always, it's about progress over perfection. Coach Dan, signing off.